the next question is, some argue that business schools are producing job seekers rather than job creators. So how can institutions flip this narrative?
Well, institutions cannot flip this narrative. It's not the job of institutions to flip any narrative of this nature, but it's true. Partially true, especially business schools. Most business school students obviously go and end up taking up a job, but they have loans and they have to pay their loans, and it's kind of risky to set up a business. Srijita, for example, you are an entrepreneur in the making, which is wonderful. Shashi, you possibly have still not decided what you wish to do. You may become an entrepreneur. You may chase a corporate career, right? Now, whatever it may be, it's actually linked to the earlier question that you asked. I feel if I can help you sharpen your entrepreneurial spirit, I believe all of us have it anyways, you are in a position to take better decisions or make better decisions, look at all kinds of options, and maybe take some risks as well. Even a corporate gig can be a risk. For example, if there's an opportunity, I say, that will take you to Mumbai, you may say yes. If I say there's an opportunity that will take you to Kabul, you may say no. I can say there's an opportunity in Kabul, but it'll pay twice that of Mumbai. You may start thinking about it. I can say there's an opportunity in Kabul and it'll pay you 5 times more. And you'll be safe and secure and you'll stay in, I don't know, in a diplomatic enclave. You may say, yeah, okay, why not? So the point is, every decision, we have, tens of things to think about. I can say there's an opportunity in Afghanistan, but not in Kabul. Why 5 times? Even 10 times you may not think about it because you'll get scared. So there is a risk and a cost-benefit analysis that we do all the time in every question. The entrepreneurial spirit helps you recognize that it's okay to fail and it's okay to take a chance. But it's not about being reckless. Good entrepreneurs are not reckless people. They measure the way they think what's right, what's wrong. So I think the entrepreneurial spirit is about making good decisions. So if you can make good decisions, you may chase a corporate career or you may set up something of your own. It's not true India is not an entrepreneurial country. We wouldn't have survived 10,000 years if we were not entrepreneurial. I deeply believe we are extremely entrepreneurial. There are some statistics which say that 52% of India is entrepreneurial in nature, right? Why not? So I believe in tomorrow's date, more and more with technology, more and more people would be keen to try something of their own. I believe many of you, I think on EDI, Entrepreneurship Development Institute, says that 1 in 5 of your generation in the next 3 to 4 years will become an entrepreneur. I also believe many of you will have a corporate gig and have a side gig, right? It's very controversial. A lot of people on LinkedIn have been talking that whether it's right or wrong. I see nothing wrong with it as long as you're not doing something which is detrimental to the company that you're working with. So I suspect a large number of you are going to take this risks any which way. At ASMi, I just want to make sure I'm there to provide you with the right tools and support you with the right mindset to make good decisions. I cannot live your life. I do not want to. I do not want to get into your head and take those decisions for you. It's wrong. I don't want to do that. What I want to do, what we want to do here is to help you make those decisions yourself so that you're not dependent on anybody, be it a job seeker or a job creator. I see nothing wrong with either.
I want to say that all my life I actually wanted to do a job. But because I was not very secure, I always wanted to be into this business world because my family comes from there. But I was like, maybe it's not for me and I'll go for a job. But you and the institute here, that changed my mind. Especially during my MBA session, it did. Okay, I might take the risk and I might see where it's going and maybe I am good at it. So, yeah.
Thank you. I hope it was a good thing that I'm very sure. See, it doesn't matter it does matter whether we succeed or fail. The problem is that we look at success and failure with the amount of money we make, which is important. It's an extremely important consideration. But success and failure is so much more than that. Even if you don't make a lot of money, maybe the lessons that you learn will be of tremendous value. First and foremost, if you ask me, and having seen you change, metamorphosize from something to something else, I think you've already succeeded, right? You have, in many ways, beaten the demons in your own head. You may still decide to become a career seeker, a job seeker later on, but you'll be a very different Srijita when you do that. A far more confident Srijita. I think that's brilliant. I think it's beautiful. In many ways, that's what ASMi is for. That's what my job is. So yeah, as long as we change the narrative of what is success and failure, of course we need to make money. Please do not, I'm not saying that we don't have to make money. But success and failure is not just money. I don't want to say the person who got a job in a very large Fortune 500 company is more successful than somebody who's, doing something far more menial in nature. These are the problems that our society has created. Both are successful in their own rights, or both are failures in their own rights. I don't want to say a billion-dollar company's owner is more successful than somebody who's running a very small outfit, because the person who's running that small outfit is still feeding his or her family and their children and possibly employ 5 more people. Both are successful. Let's not equate everything with money. Money is important, but money is not everything. It certainly isn't. The kind of person we have, where you find happiness. I have a student who, husband, wife, both of them had corporate gigs in different parts of the country. They got married. What is the first thing they did? They've gone back to the Northeast and they run a cycling tourism company. Both of them are cyclists. It's an adventure sports company. Husband and wife, they have their, I've forgotten what those cameras on their heads, the ones. So they cycle and they have guests coming from all over the world. They take tours of 15, 20 in the mountains of Arunachal. What a beautiful job. What a beautiful life they're leading. Are they making the same amount of money? I asked them. They're making less money than the two of them combined. But they're having 3 times more fun or 30 times more fun. And not just that. Every time, it's so beautiful. The girl told me, every time we finish a group, we have changed their lives forever. So their impact, I think, is profound. So for them, that's success. And they're enormously successful. Right? So I think we need to change that narrative constantly. And I'm very glad you guys are finding your own path, your own ways over here. That's my job anyways.
So the next question we have is, you have been working for leading B schools. Do you think business schools are doing enough to teach ethical leadership?
I don't even know ethics can be taught or not. But just because it possibly cannot be taught, I'm not sure whether it can be or cannot be. Does not mean we should not try. So the answer to that is, I don't know for other schools. Mostly I don't think so, because I don't see enough ethical leadership happening around me. I suspect not. Not enough. I think it's important that we all understand the ramification of our actions. Leaders even more so. Because their actions impact a larger group of people, can have far-reaching conclusions. At ASMi, we firmly believe in this. And we're trying to do this nowhere near where I wanted to go to. I'm not happy as yet. I think we need to do far more to understand subtleties of the subtle differences between what is legal, what's ethical, and what's moral. I don't want to be us to preach. I don't want you to imagine the world the way I see. Or anybody else for that matter, any of my colleagues. I want you to decide What's legal is easy to know because there's a law of the land. Ethics and morals are personal. Moral definitely is very personal. Ethics possibly is a group of people, right? It's a society. But society is not necessarily always correct. I want you to be able to measure that yourself. And the same thing, if you put that under the cloak of leadership, under the entire garb of leadership. Well, I think if we can do that, we will create leaders who are more conscious, leaders who have more empathy, leaders who have more compassion. Of course, I want you to be competitive. I want you to be assertive. I want you to be tough. But I want you to be compassionate. I want you to be socially aware and conscious. I want you to deeply care about people around you, especially people who are weaker than you. Well, that's the way we imagine we will be able to impact tomorrow by making a certain kind of leaders. Are business schools doing enough? I don't think so. Are we doing enough? Not enough, even at ASMi. And it's a constant process for us.
Okay, sir. Next, we have rapid fire, so very quick answers. The first one is one book every business student should read.
Nudge by Richard Thaler.
The most underrated skill in business.
Empathy. It's not a skill, but it's the most underrated necessity in business.
And the last one is your best career advice in one sentence.
Follow your heart, but with your eyes open.
You have been telling this to us for the last 2 years.
All right. Thank you so much. This was fantastic. I'm so glad that you guys are doing it. It's a bit unnerving for me. It's also comforting for me because the two people asking questions to me are people I know and I care about deeply. I think it's important that we follow our hearts, but with our eyes open. We make sound decisions, good decisions. We look at the world around us and understand everything's interconnected. Every action has many reactions. Some we see, some we don't see. It's important that we measure it, but we do not get into what we colloquially phrase as analysis paralysis. We also need to act. We do not know the future, so we are bound to act. And when we act, we are bound to fail at times, and it's okay to fail. As long as you're not failing on the same thing again and again, that's a different problem then. So we need to act. We need to act quickly. We need to be mindful about our actions. At ASMi, what we believe and what we are trying to build, and we are trying to do it together, you are learning from us, and I'm learning from you guys, is we need to embrace technology. We need to be ready for an unknown, uncertain tomorrow. But at the same time, we need to remember that I want you to be competitive, but I want you to be collaborative as well. I want you to be assertive, but I want us to be compassionate as well. At ASMi, ASMi means I am, which essentially means we need to truly understand who we are. Do I truly understand myself? I don't think so. But it's a lifelong quest to try and understand who I am. What am I? Somebody I have the world of respect for, used to work in the police, is retired now. He had told me many, many years back that if you want to understand who a human being is, you need to understand what that human being does when nobody else is watching him or her. So what he told me was, hey, Kaustav, say you're driving on Park Street and it's 1 a.m. There's nobody on Park Street. Do you stop at the red light when there's nobody around? Is who you are. Right? It had profound impact on me. I was 24 years old when he told me that. It had a profound impact on me. We are so busy living for others. At ASMi, it's I am. And we need to live for ourselves, but keeping in mind the world around us. We need to be true to ourselves. You can lie to anybody in the planet. We need to be true to ourselves. Are you a good human being? It's a big question. We all feel we are. Well, you know the answer. Right? So, yeah, so it's empathy, compassion, collaboration, discipline, perseverance, courage, Failure is okay. Along with confidence, assertive, competitive, understanding how the world works, understanding how money works, and keeping in mind technology is omnipresent. We need to truly understand it and tweak it to our advantage. That was great. I hope that was good for you guys. It was great. Thank you so much, Srijita and Shrishti. It has been an honor to sit with you guys and have this podcast. I wish you all the very best in subsequent episodes of this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having this conversation with us. And I think we have been learning a lot from you for the past 2 years, and our audience today have learned a lot as well.
I hope so too, that we can continue. I hope that I was of some value to your audience and to you. But I've been learning a lot from you guys as well. When I was your age, if somebody would have asked me to sit down and do a podcast like this with my teacher, I would have never had the courage to do it. Right? So do not sell yourself short. You guys are already doing something that I never could have imagined doing when I was your age. I'll still not do it. Yeah. So I think it's amazing what you guys are doing, and lots of love and blessings, and all the very best. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Means a lot. So with that, we wrap up our very first episode of Beyond the Boardroom. And if you guys enjoyed this conversation, make sure to subscribe and follow for more insights from industry leaders. So see you guys in the next episode.